Hello, welcome to my video. This is week 2 of the GamesMOOC. This is Lee Dale speaking, and I'm talking about Runescape. So this is Runescape here. Runescape is an MMO, and it is in the fantasy genre. You can see I'm in one of the little mini games, or a meta game as the game mechanics list would call it. It's free to play, but members get more chances to do things. In this case, spin twice on the Squeal of Fortune. You can see I got a chance to play again. This is a lottery inside the game that we're looking at. So the MMO itself is a pretty standard MMO. You go out, quest, fight monsters, etc. But there are things like this all over the place in the game, mini games. So I'm getting virtual items here. You can see that I use these virtual items to buy things, to modify my abilities. So there you go. You have modifiers right there. Is another game mechanic. So here I'm putting on my virtual items. I've either bought these or made these or quested to find them. Some of them I got from being in the game for a certain amount of time, loyalty and so on. So they modify my stats, so they're modifiers. They let me do more, go more places, do more things. So here I am. I turn into a cabbage and I'm teleporting off to another place here as soon as it comes up. And there I am. I'm popping out in a cabbage field for some reason. So here are the cabbages. For some reason, they let you pick the cabbages. You can actually eat them. They don't restore much. But there you go, you can gather resources in this game all over the place. You gather resources, craft, make things, sell things, buy things. I know the graphics look a little simple here. That's because I had to turn down the graphics since I was recording the video. So you can see as I'm doing various actions in this world, like right here, you can see I'm making XP or experience points. It gives me a little teeny tiny boost up on that one particular stat. I have a bunch of different stats, things like intelligence and strength and agility and so on. And it depends on what I want to do, how high I work my stat up to. I can get things really, really, really high. My highest stat for some reason is fishing. Go figure. So that's a progression dynamic. It gives us a small, granular way to measure how close we are to our next level, our next achievement. Success is displayed granularly, so progression dynamic. The result being that you see a lot of people who end up doing what's called grinding. They'll sit there and they will do the same thing over and over and over. You'll see people with huge long lines of fires strung out behind them so they can work on their fire building. It's interesting to watch sometimes. Grinding like that means that you go up in levels, which makes you go up in status in this game. So you don't want to be a noob, of course. You want to go up and up and up in status so that you can get the cool stuff and have everybody envy you, right? So some of these game mechanics should be starting to sound pretty familiar. Really, I think RuneScape hits on just about every mechanic that we're looking at. It's pretty phenomenal, actually. So here we are. We're going to see a couple of other people doing some grinding. So those people there with all of the fruit and the spiders scattered around them, what they're doing is they're practicing magic, and they're raising their magic ability. I mean, it looks so weird. It looks so artificial, all of this fruit flying everywhere, but there you go. So people are running around. There's a bank nearby. That always makes people run in and out all over the place. There's another person over here who is fighting one of the guards here, trying to raise their XP, probably in attack or strength or defense, something like that. And right here we're in Edgeville. We're right next to the wilderness, which is very, very wild. If you go across into the wilderness, you can lose everything. It's a very high stakes area in RuneScape. Most of the places in RuneScape are relatively safe, but the wilderness is among the most dangerous. So next we're going to see the Grand Exchange, which if you've been following any of Abacus's projects, you know that he tends to work in the auction house in World of Warcraft. Well, this is kind of RuneScape's version. You can buy and you can sell. So you can see here I'm going to be selling some of these longbows that I made. So I sell them. They don't cost very much. I have 4 of them. So I offer them onto the Grand Exchange. And because somebody else said that they were willing to pay money for them, then it comes up, they actually sell immediately. So I offer them on the Grand Exchange and boom, they sell just like that. And the final mechanic that I want to show, as soon as the screen changes here, let me get my money. The final mechanic I want to show is the fact that RuneScape has a lot of leaderboards, and these are only like a couple of leaderboards that they show. Here's the first one, my pitiful little level of XP in comparison to the people who are like at the top, and a few more little pieces of information. So anyway, there you go. I hope you enjoyed my discussion of game mechanics.